Hey there. So it looks like I'm live. This is my first live. I know I've been offline for a while. Just wanted to say I'm still here. I've just been sort of in the trenches doing work behind the scenes. I have so much exciting news to share with you very, very soon. I do want to share just a couple things of what I've been up to behind the scenes. And I do hope to be back here doing this some more. But the first thing that's coming up, and I will get to, wanted to talk about the Taurus, the lunar eclipse in Taurus that's happening tonight, tomorrow, depending on your location. But just to give you a couple of really quick updates. So some of the stuff I've been working on is this Saturday, I will be live with Jocelyn Starfeather on the Sacred Planet 2023, 2024, 2025 forecast event. It's really exciting. There's at least like 24, if not more, amazing intellectual healers, astrologers, and other just like thought leaders and change makers, people who are absolutely changing the world, who know what's going on, who are in touch, who have thoughts on what the next 3 years are going to bring us. There are some huge energetic changes out there. And so I will be on there. The event does run November 10th through the 14th. So sign up. It's completely free to sign up right now. I believe afterwards you can purchase the recordings if you want to. But if you want to tune in during the event from November 10th to the 14th, it's free. So highly recommend it. I will be live with Jocelyn on Saturday, November 12th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. That's 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And so catch me there. To sign up for free, go to 2023-2024-2025 forecastevent.com. It's going to be phenomenal. So what I specifically will be talking about at that event is how to bring these big energies of the outer planet transits that we're going to be experiencing over the next 3 years, and actually kind of beyond that. Like, it's really just this setup. That's the teaser. How can we use our personal planet, the inner planet, the quicker transits that we experience on a daily basis to give us a line of sight and a line of connection to the larger energy and just keep the bigger picture in mind? And how can we use permaculture and astrology together to do those things? So if you're curious about how you can do that in order to thrive, to enjoy your life, and to make the world a better place and make an impact, because you understand that we're going through the great turning right now, coined by Joanna Macy, that you feel that there are some big major shifts going on, definitely recommend tuning into that. Again, 2023-2024-2025 forecastevent.com. You can also go to my website, taylorschuler.com, go under events, and there will be a link on there that you can sign up and register. So I would love to see you there. I will be live. So if you have questions and you want to chat with me live, tune in there this Saturday, November 12th, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Catch it. All right. So that's one thing. And then the next thing is that the following Saturday, I will be live doing a fundraising event for Kepler College, which is an astrology school. You know, awesome astrology school. I am just psyched to be there with a number of people, hosted by Kenneth Miller. I will be doing a 2023 year ahead forecast with Omari Martin, with Wendy Stacy, and with Wade Cave. So I'm just totally psyched and really excited to be doing all this stuff. So catch that. I do believe tickets for that are $25. All of the funds go to Kepler College Scholarship Fund, so that folks who want to have access to learning astrology, perhaps like yourself, can access funds to take these classes, so that, you know, people can get paid for giving classes, but also you can have the access that you need to that education as well. So please tune in to that fundraising 2023 forecast event, also on my website, or at I believe the website is kepler.org or keplercollege.org. I'm not sure, but it's on my website. There's a link to go to taylorschuler.com. I think it's /events, and you will see the Kepler College. So those are two huge things I've been up to. I'm also going to be getting you some episodes of On Thriving, interviews with change makers. I've got one coming up teaser this Friday. Check it out. Watch the YouTube or whatever podcast channel that you've got an episode coming up with the amazing Felix Wild of comehomelifecoaching.com. And I do a little reading of Felix's chart. So if you want to see a little bit about what astrology can do for you and how we can look at people's charts, your chart, to figure out what kind of impact you make on the world, how you make the world a better place, how our struggles help us to then sort of solidify and understand and transform our pain into things that can help other people, not just sit with it and like ruminate in it, actually do something to make the world a better place. Check out that episode. And so that's my little teaser. Felix, I hope it's okay that I just spoiled them. Oh. Anyway, so those are some of the things I've been up to. I'm good. Life is good. Life is exciting. So this eclipse, I got a question, and I'll just say it's I'll say it's from a family member. I don't know if they want me to say their name, but it's from a family member. And I was like, you know what? I want to respond to this, and also like I have a bazillion things to do right now. So why don't I just do sort of all in one? I'll reply to this family member's question. P.S. I love you, family member. And also share my thoughts with you all, because there's nothing that I wouldn't say to them that I wouldn't say to you, and vice versa. So the question is, so as you know, tomorrow is a total eclipse of the moon, and I was reading about that and wondering how we can use that energy to transform the world through this election. Because as you know, we won't know the results tomorrow night during the eclipse. So what do you think I should be thinking about and doing during the eclipse? So this is a great question. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the prompt. And here I am now on this live. So the eclipse, I'm in Mountain Time in the United States. So this eclipse is happening around midnight or so. I will have my blind shut. I'll tell you that. I'm not superstitious anymore, really. And also I look at my own life experiences and I decide based on my life experiences what I want to do. I've had a lot of change in my life recently. I don't need any more. Okay. I went out and I sat under this last eclipse, which was May 14th. We had the moon in Scorpio, the sun in Taurus. It was intense. I don't know if you remember it. We had an eclipse it was solar eclipse in Taurus, April 30th / May 1st. And then we had the lunar eclipse in Taurus on May 14th. And I remember it was the evening of May 14th because that moon was big and it was red and it was round and it was in the sky. And I cried. I cried a lot. And then my life started changing like even more. And I'm not interested in that. So it might happen again, but I'm not really interested in letting those rays shine on me to a degree that it really penetrates me. So I invite you to think about whether you actually want to look at the moon or not and experiment, and then be very safe. So I don't mean that to scare you. I'm just saying, like, I've been watching these eclipses. I've been seeing when I do go look at them and seeing when I don't go look at them and what happens. And this is what happens. So let me know if you go out in the eclipse, like, do you feel it? Do you not? And also look at your own chart or maybe have a consultation with me and we'll see. If this eclipse is actually hitting stuff in your chart, it's going to impact you whether you go look at it or not. But if you go look at it, it might impact you a little bit more. If it's not really impacting your chart, I don't know, but I'd love to hear your story. So put in the comments if you're watching this after the live, like how you experience the eclipse. But the question is about the election results. So, one of the things in the question said, we won't know the results. We probably won't know the results. There's a Mercury cazimi. This is happening square Uranus, opposite Uranus and conjunct Uranus. Uranus is Rick Levine, astrologer, one of my teachers, says that Uranus represents the instantaneous resolution of irresolvable opposites. That's a mouthful. And also, it's true. So how do you instantaneously resolve irresolvable opposites? right? I don't know. So Uranus is also this divine inspiration. It is divine downloads. It's sort of like spiritual downloads. It's like information. It's enlightenment. It's genius. It's big changes. It's big shakeups. This eclipse is also making a square, which is a challenging aspect, which we interpret as working at cross purposes with the planet Saturn, which is all about our structures. It's about authority. It's about our leaders. It's about leadership. And so we're seeing a shakeup related to leadership. The sun also represents leadership or the king, like in ancient times and even in current times in countries that have kings. So, and the moon represents the people when we're talking about mundane astrology or really like public astrology. So looking at big patterns and things like that. So we've got a leader, we've got the people shaking stuff up next to Uranus, and we've got Saturn, our structures. And it's like something here has to give. Something has to give. Mercury Kazemi means that Mercury is in the heart of the sun. Mercury is about communication. It's about, you could say accounting, like counting votes and things like that. It represents the media. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of talk. It'll probably keep changing. You'll probably say, oh, this person's winning and they're going to win at like 9 a.m. And then at 12, it's going to be something different. And then at 10, it's going to be, we got to go back to the drawing board. Now, do I know what's going to happen? Absolutely not. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have a guess that it's going to be wild. And I'm laughing now because I might not be laughing tomorrow. So I'm going to get my giggles in now. So if you're watching this after and something bad happened, I'm very sorry. And we should all enjoy every moment of joy that we get. So I'm just going to say that disclaimer. I'm not taking joy in potential bad things. I'm also not saying bad things are potentially going to happen. So all the disclaimers right now, I'm living my life. Okay. I'm on live. So the question was, I'm wondering how we can use that energy to transform the world through this election. I think what right now the invitation is that, we've had this Saturn square Uranus energy for over a year now. It would have started December of 2020, December 20th or so, when Saturn moved into Aquarius. We would have had a really wide square by sign. So we've got Saturn, our structures, our government, our institutions, our ways of doing things, working at cross purposes with really shaky, futuristic, groundbreaking energy. Our structures are having to face groundbreaking energy. Our ways of being, our government, our society is facing groundbreaking ways of being. How are we or are we not doing that? How are we saying, I'm really trying to hold on to how things used to be? I'm really trying to hold on to how things are. I'm really wanting things to stay the same. Now, if you have the ground break and shake and there's radical change and something remains standing, ask yourself, what does that mean? What does it mean that, something has withstood the test of, like, the ultimate test of change? But if things do shake away, if things do fall away, what is left standing, right? I will say that for the next couple of years, what we're looking at is the energy of the people, the moon, looking at the energy of those in power, the sun, and saying, hey, we the people are demanding some changes, which is really just moon, Uranus. Moon, people, Uranus, changes. Looking at that Saturn that we're having a square to in Aquarius, which is like, what are our structures of the future? Aquarius is all about the future. It's about using the scientific method to figure out, hey, this worked before, this didn't work. Let's be open-minded. let's leave lasting structures that benefit everyone. And so that is really the theme, is like, hey, we the people have some power. We have power, and if things are working or they're not working, we need to have conversations about that, Mercury Cazimi. We need to speak into the heart of the sun. We need to use our voice to speak to the leader, the sun. We need to use our voice to speak truth to power, Mercury Cazimi in Scorpio. Scorpio is deep. It is research. It is pulling up stuff from the depths of the earth, the muck, the nasty stuff we don't want to look at, the stuff we don't want to talk about, this stuff that makes people really uncomfortable. This is not dinner table conversation. This is that stuff that you're like, I'd rather not talk about that because it's going to make them uncomfortable. This is about the increasing democratization of our social structures. That's what this is about, because we're looking at how do I say this? It's about we're looking at the increasing democratization of our social structures. Okay, so Taurus is about the earth. It's also about material wealth. It's like the gold standard. It's about our money. It's about minted, printed money. Scorpio is other people's money. And so this is a lot about the economy and saying who gets what money and why. And so that's why I'm saying, if we're looking at, we the people are in Taurus. We are people of the earth. We are the salt of the earth, the people that work the earth, the people that have these jobs day in and day out. They do the hard labor. They do the slow work. They do it fast-paced work too, with that Uranus there. And it's the people saying, like, how are we transforming our economy? How are we transforming our financial structures, our economic structures, and then looking at those in power, the sun and Scorpio, and their money, and then looking at Saturn and Aquarius and saying, how can we restructure for the future, which is Aquarius, these things related to my money, to your money, to debt, to how money is created, and also to our food. Taurus is the earth. To our earth, like, how are we taking care of the earth? Like, how are you, the leaders, the people in charge? And the leaders are not just political, right? The leaders are people who have power. Pluto, Scorpio, all about power. Obviously, elections are about power. How are our systems supporting our health, supporting and related to the food that we're eating, related to the death that we've been witnessing and experiencing? So how is the food radically transforming our bodies so that we are getting sick? Honestly, I hope I've talked about this on here before, but I certainly have on my Instagram and my website and my Facebook, that the food that we are eating in the United States, at least, maybe not in other countries, maybe a little bit here and there in other countries, it's full of poison. Scorpio is like, I don't want to say Scorpio is poison, but it's a Scorpio. What does a Scorpio have? It has this like tail, and is there poison in a scorpion tail? I don't know. It hurts. It's also about like the waste systems. And so like we get this food from Taurus and it goes through our body, through the Virgo parts, which are the stomach and the digestive tract, and then out the Scorpio part when we poop, right? But sometimes those things aren't getting filtered because they weren't meant to go in us in the first place, and they make us really sick and lead to our death. That's a hard thing to hear and to say sometimes. It's just true. So how are the people who are in power, who have structures, who are responsible for things like our food and the regulations there? How are they actually protecting us? How are the people who are in charge, the sun, how are they regulating our economy? How are they not regulating our economy? How are they regulating the group structures that our economy operates in, i.e. businesses, so that we the people in Moon and Taurus, actually get some money at the end of the day? Because to be honest, this election is just about money. It's who people are broke, there's inflation, but it's not everybody who's broke, right? There's some people who are making millions and millions of dollars at the top of these organizations, these companies, and the same companies are laying off people who are working paycheck to paycheck. And so I think if you look on any side of the aisle, in between the aisles, outside the aisles, I don't care what aisle you want to be in, at the end of the day, most people are going to be voting on their wallet. So the invitation is asking us if your vote does or doesn't count towards the outcome that you were looking for on your wallet, on the earth, on our food systems, on our bodily autonomy, on whatever issue you care about. Let's have conversations, Mercury Kazemi. Let's talk. Let's do some deep research into what's really going on. And let's think about how we can come together as the majority of individual people who are aligned on actually caring and making the world a better place, to look at different structures where we have agency. Do you have agency in your workplace? If you don't feel like you have agency in your local government, your county government, your state government, your parish, your church, where do you have agency? Where do you have agency? Where can you amplify your voice? Where can you amplify the voices of others? Where can you say enough is enough? It's time to take our power back. It's, I am a human being. I have every right to be here. This is what the next series of eclipses are going to be about, is about our personal agency, our personal individual human rights to be here, and how our human rights are not honored based on other people. So look at the places where we can have more democratic structures. Like, check out Richard Wolff's Democracy at Work. Check it out. Check out that website, Democracy at Work. I think it's .org. Check out his podcasts. Check it out. That's what I would say. And I would say that, if you feel like the structures where you're supposed to have agency aren't giving you agency, look for structures that will give you agency. Look for the things that really matter. Taurus, Scorpio is really deep. It's really intense. It's really sensitive to what's going on. It senses something's wrong. It's highly sensitive. Taurus is super, let's break it down. It's very simple, right? So it's almost like the moon, the people here are saying, hey, y'all, it's simple. We want lower prices. We want bodily autonomy. We want, you say we live in a free country. We want to live in a free country, whatever that means. I just want to, I think Stephen Forrest gives this example in at least one of his books, if not a few of them, and probably in lectures and stuff, about Taurus being the sign that it's like, Scorpio, the lesson from Taurus being chop wood and carry water. The story is about like a great master, and a young person comes to the great master and says, great master, tell me how to be like you, how to be a great master. And what do you do every day? And the master goes, I chop wood and carry water. And he's like, what? And the dude just chops wood for fire and carries water, and then, eats. He does the basics. So what are the basics right now? How can you come together to think about radically new ways of considering how we help one another instead of looking at the aisles as this aisle and this aisle, saying what's the in between that we can come together on, because it is very simple, right? Like, we all obviously care about the same things, and we're so busy saying you got it wrong and you got it wrong, and we're leaning into that really like nasty hatred energy that's heavy. And instead of saying, you know, I'm right and you're wrong, it's like, how about I realize I'm just angry right now, regardless of my aisle or my side. And there's not really sides. There's only one of us here. We all care about the same things. We all just want to be happy. We all want to have the resources, Taurus. We want to have our needs met, Taurus. We want to take good care of ourselves, Taurus. And how we do that is Scorpio, which is a really intense merging with one another, intense merging and grappling with the other in deeply creative ways that may bring out deep and intense emotions. And so if you have deep and intense emotions, if you're going through some stuff, I will say on a personal level, reach out and talk to somebody. Let someone know that you need a listening ear. If you need counseling right now, there's a lot of us out there who are really struggling. Reach out to a mental health professional. There's a lot of apps. I think BetterHelp is an app that helps a lot of people. I wish I had more resources off the tip of my tongue, but I don't. But if you need a resource and you're watching this and you're like, hey, I wish you gave me more resources, like, send me a message, send me an email, hi@taylorschuler.com, and I'd be happy to Google some stuff for you. So sit with the discomfort of not knowing. Sit with both sides of it. Sit with what if this is what happens, and sit with what if this happens. Sit with that feeling that you might get if you're really into this election, where it's like, I just want to boast and I want to yell and I want to celebrate and I want to cheer, or the opposite of that. And then think on how the other people would feel, and think about how you would want to be treated if the outcome comes out however it comes out. Yeah. And then regardless of how it comes out, just know it's past time that we do things differently, because we're here to make the world a better place. I think the last thing I'll say is I saw a woman on TikTok the other day. She was talking about, she was watching TikTok and someone came on with a parenting, she has like a parenting TikTok or whatever. And so she was saying, you know, my child is between the ages of 18 and 25. And she's getting a lot of people saying, oh, I'm really struggling with my child between the ages of 18 and 25. You know, they won't get a job. They won't do this. They won't do that. They're unmotivated, this, that, and the other. And this woman said, I would stitch it, but I can't because she wasn't allowing stitches. And so she said, it's actually between the ages of 18 and 35. And she has a theory about people born after August of 1987. I haven't really looked into that. I was born after August of 1987, so I don't know. I might be one of these people. And her whole thing was like, oh, they didn't come in with any karma. I haven't really grappled with that yet, so I don't know if I agree with that or not. I kind of think we all have karma, but what I did agree with her on is that the younger generation, the millennials, the Gen Zers, are really here. The Pluto in Scorpio, Pluto in Sagittarius, Pluto in Capricorn are here to have those experiences of like, I don't feel like working. I don't want to work 40 hours a week. I want to work more than 40 hours a week. Why am I doing this? Or, you know, I feel kind of lost. I don't know what I'm doing. Because if you can't see yourself, you feel anachronistic, out of time, anachronistic. You feel like you were born at a time that wasn't meant for you. When your surroundings don't match how you feel inside, it's almost like coming out of the womb and being like, oh, y'all, I came in at the wrong time, right? And what we do is we individualize that, we personalize that to say, there's something wrong with you. And we point. I don't like pointing fingers, but we point and we say, it's you. You're wrong. Instead of looking at the system and being like, oh, maybe it's time we do stuff differently. Maybe we should have a universal basic income so that like people can eat and sleep and be healthy. Maybe we should like compensate people for the work that they do, including going to school and including like training for work, and know that companies might want to like actually take some responsibility for the training that they require people to do to labor for them, and then think about how that's a contract. And even, you know, we've got this Pluto return, go back to like, how did we think about work in the first place? And the fact that our country was founded on slavery, enslavement of people, and how enslavement has evolved into the modern working day. That is a fact. Happy to talk more about that if any of you are curious. Indentured servitude. How does that relate to your employment contract today? How does a student loan issue relate to how we might want to rethink things and stop personalizing and individualizing things that we perceive as being wrong with someone, and then start saying, if everyone's having these issues, it might not just be everyone personally. You think everyone's got a personal issue, or do you think it's the system that we live within that's actually causing the problem? So that's what I was talking before about the increasing democratization of things, and the fact that we all need to have conversations together. We need to come together. We need to grapple. We need to be deeply creative. Scorpio, you know, is creative energy. And I mean creative in this like sexual way. And I don't mean sexual as in like literally, although it is, but in this, I'm asking you to take this figuratively when I'm saying this right now. It's this creative merging of energies that allow us to create something, right? Because sexual energy are opposing forces. It's a receptive and an active force coming together with different things to contribute, and then merge. And then what happens, like, you know, I know fetuses are in the news, but like what happens with that? Like some of this DNA gets to stay, some of this DNA gets to stay, but like it doesn't all get to stay. It kind of like you get some of this and some of this, and that's like, look up DNA if you haven't seen it before. I hope you have. Well, our education system. Yeah. I think I answered the question. Chill, take care of yourself, drink a lot of water, close the blinds, don't close the blinds. Let me know how you experience it. Be nice to yourself, be nice to other people, drive safely, check on your friends. Give someone a hug who wants one with their permission. Ask for a hug if you need one. Eat really good food. Savor the moment. Enjoy your life. Laugh while you can. Think about what's really important. What are your ultimate values in life? More about, think about that more than you think about how important it is to have power, how important it is to be right, how important it is to hurt other people. It's much more important to look after yourself first, take care of yourself, take care of the people that you love. I know I said this is like the last thing I was going to say before, but on a personal level, not related to the election, I also see a lot of people really grappling with this whole thing of like holding on to old relationships, holding on to trying to see how other people care. Oh, that sun is really coming in. What other people care about. People who are meant to leave their lives. Like there are people who are meant to leave our lives right now. And some of us are holding on to those people and really, or things, and preventing the new from coming in. And it is so painful to watch on a personal level. And it's, for me personally, is what I mean. And it's painful for people to do it too. It's painful when you hold on to someone too long, and you just need to think about what your values are and why you're doing it. And also remember that, like, our actions do impact other people. Right? When we're like directly engaging with other people, our actions do affect other people. But when we are just living our lives and we know we're supposed to be separate from someone else, like, be respectful, be in integrity, be aligned with your values and in tune with your values, and make sure that your mess, your Scorpio mess from the past, is not dragging through with, like, it's like a garbage bag that's got some holes in it and there's stuff leaking through and you're dragging it across the floor, and all that dirty garbage water is like you're dragging that into the future. Please don't drag your dirty garbage water into the beautiful Taurus utopian future. Like, it's very simple. Leave your trash in the past and let's move towards a more beautiful Taurus. Like, imagine a scene of, like, there's cows and fields and we've all got a farm and we're, Garden of Eden. Like, don't bring your technological, futuristic drama mess of old karma, old people who've already been like, peace out, dude, we done. Like, don't be bringing that, dragging it, let it go. Eclipses are all about releasing, letting go, put the trash in the trash can. And I'm not calling people trash, I'm just using a metaphor. Okay. But like, don't bring that emotional, spiritual heaviness and yuckiness. Like, if it's done, it's done. Let it go. Let's move on. It's very simple, Taurus. It's very simple. Joy might not be simple because you might have that trash bag and like all the little, like, how it's got like the thing, like the ties that are in some, like, automatically, and you pull it up and it makes the trash bag close and stuff, and then you tie it up. And you might have that like tied around your ankles, and it might be extra long and it's tied around you in all different places. Untangle yourself. Untangle yourself. Let the past be in the past. And keep it simple. My mom likes to say, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Thanks, Mom. And here's another one that's very Taurus and Scorpio wisdom from my mom is you get more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. I think that's very apt for this Taurus Scorpio eclipse. So get that honey out. Get the honey. Get the honey and be the honey. And be nice to yourself. Treat yourself. And don't watch the news till it's done. Don't make yourself crazy. And move towards your joy in the future. I think I answered the question. So, love to all of you. Love you all. Let me know if you're watching this later in the comments how you're doing. Check me out, taylorschuler.com. Again, I've got the 2023, 2024, 2025 forecast event. 2023-2024-2025 forecastevent.com. Go to taylorschuler.com. Schuler is spelled SHULER. So there's no C in Schuler. And you can book a reading with me. You can check out my blog, check out some horoscopes. Stay tuned on this channel for what's coming up. got some cool interviews, got some really great stuff, really exciting news coming up. So many blessings to all of you. Just so much gratitude for watching, gratitude for being you, and wanting to thrive with joy and making the world a better place. So bye, y'all. See you again soon.